Well, hello there, crinkly creatures. It's your boy Lurks here. Is wearing a disposable diaper on a fursuit at a convention inappropriate? As you may be aware, or maybe you just found out, that very thing happened and caused some controversy at Denfur 2024, which ended last weekend. We're going to discuss it. I'm going to give you my opinion on the whole thing. So what exactly happened? A fursuiter in a full suit was photographed standing in the registration line wearing a disposable ABDL type diaper on top of their fursuit. The person who posted this stated that it was around 2:30 in the afternoon and that there were kids present, and controversy ensued. Comparisons were brought up to Rainforest 2015, specifically this guy. Yeah, remember that guy? With some people saying this crosses a line, it's inappropriate, it's kink gear, there were kids there and it was potentially offensive, and they're uncomfortable with it, it's gross, and it shouldn't be allowed at the con. Now the other side, probably the majority based on what I read in the comments, was like, come on, this is no big deal. The person's got a dry, disposable diaper on top of their fursuit, and some of them made the comparison to pup hoods and other somewhat kink adult type things like that that are typically allowed at conventions, and said, well, if they're going to be allowed, why would a diaper on a fursuit not be allowed? So unlike most controversies, a lot of this can be cleared up by answering one simple question. That's it. Just one question. What is that question? Was this behavior allowed by the convention rules? Was it? Let's take a look. All right, here are the con rules, Denfur 2024, regarding attire. And there's nothing in there talking about diapers or underwear on fursuits. So in that section, it looks like this person was perfectly good to go. Now, moving up in the code of conduct, there is a section that mentions attire that might make other con attendees uncomfortable, and at the discretion of the staff, I guess this person could have been asked to remove the diaper if enough people complained based on this section. All right, that's what the rules say, so here's my opinion. In this case, you might be surprised that I have a fairly strong opinion, and it might not be the opinion you expect. In this exact situation, I don't have a huge problem with this, and here's why. Let's make the obvious comparison. The closest comparison I can think of, and that would be to pup hoods. Now, pup hoods, at least from my limited understanding of them, were originally created as kind of a BDSM adult kink thing. But people wear them at conventions frequently. When they're being worn at conventions, they're not being used in an adult kink way. They're just being used as a piece of attire. Some people are just using them simply as an alternative to a fursuit head. Now, as I've said before, pup hoods are definitely not my thing. If I had a choice of looking at pup hoods or not looking at pup hoods, I'd probably say not. But the difference is, if I attend a con and the rules allow pup hoods, and I show up and there are pup hoods there, that's a me problem. Not a problem with the con, not a problem with the people wearing the pup hoods, okay? I see this as exactly the same. Some people are just offended by this who aren't offended by pup hoods. The fact that a different group of people are potentially offended by it doesn't mean it's reasonable to allow one thing and ban something else. Just like a pup hood, in this situation, I don't see this diaper being worn in a kink type of manner. This is not the same as Rainforest guy. Rainforest 2015 person here is wearing nothing but a diaper. There's not a fursuit underneath. There isn't anything underneath that I can see from the photograph. And they're also wearing a pup hood, kind of doubling down on the kink thing and pushing a little bit more in that inappropriate direction. This person at Denfur is fully clothed, wearing a full fursuit underneath this diaper. It's not showing anything, it's not wet, it's just sort of there. I think we risk creating a double standard if we're going to allow something just because it's more common than something else. I haven't seen a whole lot of diapers on fursuits at cons. That may be why it's not addressed in the convention code of conduct. I've only seen a couple before, and they were very cartoonish cloth-type diapers with big safety pins, and clearly weren't any type of kink or ABDL-type diaper. The fact that this is, or it appears to be, from one of these ABDL diaper companies doesn't really change that for me. I just don't think it crosses the line into becoming offensive. Now, obviously, there has to be a line somewhere. What type of behavior or attire becomes offensive or risks making a bunch of people uncomfortable. That's a decision the con has to make. In this specific situation with this specific individual, again, to wrap things up, I don't see this any different than a puphood. If you're going to allow one, you really kind of have to allow the other, or you're being unreasonable. Now, as far as kids being around and seeing it, again, it's not really any worse than a puphood. You really think a kid is going to understand that this thing was manufactured with kink in mind? A kid's probably going to see this and be like, hey, a cute baby fursuit. I don't know. I think this controversy is unreasonable, and I just don't find this offensive. But I bet some of you have a different opinion. I bet some of you share my opinion, and I'd love to hear those down in the comments. Alright, thank you as always to some super special, super awesome people. Who are they? They are our patrons. They help keep this channel going and growing, and for that we are eternally grateful. Thank you for stopping by, whether you're moist or dry. We'll see you next time with the Megaplex 2024 video. Hey, I'm at that con right now while you're watching this video. You stay safe, you stay fuzzy, and you have an awesome week.